Okay, grace and peace. You guys, I really don't know what I want to talk about. So, I was fixing my hair before was even going to push play. I wanted to make sure that I looked it okay. And then I was like, glasses or no glasses. But whatever, we're going to rock the glasses, but we just got to clean them first. Um, so, this is my first month here. Uh, and so things have been going really great, and I still don't know what to expect. I still haven't gotten a real good routine yet as far as like me and the things that I want to do. I still don't know what I want to do. I still don't know where God is taking me. Um, so I did fill out two applications, and before I got down here, and then I filled out one when I got down here, and I had an interview with that, the second one. But nothing happened to that, with either of those, so I'm back looking. Um, I feel as though I'm just, floating a little bit, just floating in this space kind of area, and it don't feel real good. Like I like to work. I'm not gonna say I need to work. I just like to work. I like to have a job and stuff like that. And I'm a more of a routine kind of person. I'm getting the feeling of that, right? I'm more of a routine person. I need to know what I'm doing every single day. And if I don't know what I'm doing, then it's just like, um, so something new about me is I turned 42 years old, which I am super, super, super excited about. And when I turned 42, I started crying. I really did. And it wasn't a bad cry, it was a great cry. It was like, Jesus, I thank you for allowing me to see 42 wonderful years. And I just thank God for that. Um, and to be 42, loving, knowing that I'm loving the King, and doing my best to stay right at his feet, just stay right at his heel. Like, if I gotta grab onto his leg and he drag me, I don't really care. But I need to be near him, and I can't be far from him at all. So um, the journey as far as finding somewhere to worship is still ongoing. I've only been here a month, so I've only had 4 Sundays so far. So the first one I didn't really like. The second one was good, but I only got like 30 minutes of it. So I went the following Sunday to get the full service, and I enjoyed it. But then this Sunday I went to Oak Cliff, which is Tony Evans' church, and I enjoyed it. But it was just a long walk from the front door, from to the front door, from where I had to park. They literally have like 5 parking lots, no joke. I was parked on the grass. That's how many people was there. It was people parked on the grass. But the message was good. I feel as though he was coming from Hebrews, where God speaks about do not forsake the assembly of yourselves together. Um, And then I believe the end of that verse, the Lord speaks about as you see the day approaching. Like, we know that God is coming, and we should not be trying not to be in the house of God, which God calls us the church, but not trying not to be in his temple, because so many things happen when we get in his temple. But I also wanted to say this. I promised you guys the story of how I got down here. It literally took 3 days, and it was only supposed to take 2, right? It took 3 though. So the first day I was supposed to leave at 6 a.m. on Friday, which was the 28th of January. So I was supposed to leave at 6 a.m. That was the plan. That's the plan I had. But I'm learning that when I make plans, I have to allow God to make adjustments to my plans. And if he just trashed my plans altogether, then by all means, that's how it's supposed to go, right? So, My brother got there at 6 a.m. to help me put my boxes on top of the car, right? And to help me strap them down. So I had like these little strappy things that kind of click, 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 right? And so he got the boxes on top of the car, and he literally strapped down one of them. And then he was like, okay, you got to do the rest because I got to go. So he had to go. And I was like, I don't know how to do it. He was like, oh, this is how you do it. So he kind of like showed me a little bit, but I don't think I got it because I know I didn't get it. Because from 6:30 to about 9:30, I was outside in the cold trying to put the other three of them on my car to strap these boxes down, right? And so the inside of my car, things were just thrown in there, and I had God had given me a vision. I believe He did give me a vision of how to set this car up, right? And so I was like, Kevin, don't throw it in there. I have an idea of how it's supposed to go. So he got it all in there. He was like, okay, well, you could just rearrange it. But I appreciate him for even coming, because I had a whole meltdown because I just felt like I was by myself and nobody wanted to come and help me. But that's a whole nother story. I'll tell you about that a little, another day, or maybe at the end of this, if I have enough time, if I haven't talked too much. But anyway, back to the story. So he had threw everything in the back. I was like, okay, don't even worry about it. That's fine. I'll just rearrange it in the morning. And so, because I didn't think it was going to take that long. But anyway, like I said, 6:30 to 9:30, I was outside trying to figure out how to put these straps on the boxes on the top of my car. And I had like 3 boxes on the top of the car, right? And so, needless to say, as I was trying to figure it out, I broke 3 of them. I only had 4. I broke 3 because I did not know what I was doing. But anyway, in the process of me trying to figure it out, I was cold. It was so cold outside. I had got snowed on while I was out there. My sister was inside the house, and she just thought I was done. And I don't really know. But anyway, I'm out there working, freezing, fingers and got numb, and I'm getting frustrated, trying not to be frustrated, praying to God, asking God, like, Jesus, help me figure this thing out. It turned from dark to light, and then my mom called me a couple of times, and it's like, I was getting so frustrated because people were calling me, asking me how I was going or if I was gone yet. And I was like, I ain't gone yet. So it just frustrated me to no end. But anyway, around 9:30, a little bit before 9:30, one of my sisters called me, Charlotte, and she was like, you okay? You on the road? And I was like, no, I'm not on the road. And I was so frustrated that I ended up starting to cry. I started to cry. And so she was like, you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. It's not working. I didn't yell at her, but I was just like, no, it's not okay. I felt so frustrated on the inside. But anyway, she said, well, what can I do for you right now? And I just burst out crying because I didn't know at all, because I was so overwhelmed that it was going the way that it was going, right? And so she said, so she just began to pray. And in her prayer of asking the Lord, she said, Jesus, just send her some help. I remember her saying that. And then she said she was going to call somebody for me or whatever. And she said, how about we just do this? You just go in the house and get warm. And I said, okay, I could do that. And so when I went in the house, I took off my coat, I sat on the floor, and I began to cry and tell my sister, like, I've been out there this whole time and couldn't figure it out, blah, 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 blah. So I'm crying again. And then I was just like, forget it. I'm just going to pack my TV, because that's the last thing that I had to pack, which was my TV and my modem and everything like that. So I started picking that, putting that together and everything like that, taking it apart. And so soon as I got all of that together, the door rang, and it was Deani and Miss Anita. So thank God, because God sent me some help. He sent me help, y'all. And if you don't think that prayer really works, I'm telling you, I implore you to pray to the Lord and believe in what you pray for. But also, in the midst of that, when you pray and ask God for something, just leave it right in His hands and let Him do it how He's going to do it. And that's what I had to understand, that it wasn't going to go my way. Even though I had a plan, it wasn't going to go Tony's way. It was going to go God's way. And if He so chose, and if He was to so choose something that I had planned, then by all means, He's more than wonderful to pick anything that I was thinking that should happen. But if He was to trash it all, then that's fine too. So they walked through the door, and I was hiding behind my TV stand because I was just so frustrated while I was packing my TV. But needless to say, I'm gonna try to move this a little bit closer. But I told you I was gonna tell you the whole story. Y'all know I'm a storyteller. So anyway, I'm hiding behind the TV stand, and Deani's like, "What are you doing behind the TV stand? This is a happy day. This is a good day." And I wanted to smile, but I was so overwhelmed with my own emotions at the time. I couldn't even smile, but I was excited though. Like I was like, I won't say excited. I was relieved. Thank you, Jesus. I was relieved to finally have help. So anyway, she was like, "Okay, so what's going on?" I was like, "The things are not working. The car is not packed right." So my sister was like, my sister, her name is Sandra. So she was just like, "Look, we're gonna go and fix this car, rearrange this car for you," because I was telling her before anybody else got there, when it was just her and I said, I wanted to rearrange the car. I done did it 3 times and it's not fitting. And then for some reason I couldn't get my back seat to lay down. I literally crawled in the back seat and tried to pounce on the seats to get them to fold all the way down, but it did not work. Okay. So these two women, Deani and my sister Sandra, they're both my sisters, but anyway, Deani and Sandra take their wonderful selves outside, okay, and rearrange this car. Exactly the way God gave it to me, right? They did it exactly that way. They got the seats to lay completely flat. I don't know how they did that. But anyway, they swapped out the boxes. They put the boxes on the inside and the clothes on top of the car. So they had took the straps off. And so they had called me after they had rearranged this car and everything. And it literally only took them an hour. I was out there 3.5 hours, right? And it took them an hour to get it done. So they call me and they say, "Tony, come outside." And so I go outside and they're like, "Hey, show us how to put these little straps on." So as I'm showing them, I find out that I broke 3 of them, right? I'm like, "Oh no, something's wrong with them." The straps was like ripped a little bit, like I had done damage to these bad boys. And as we're outside trying to hook it up, my landlord, thank God for my landlord. So I just want to give a shout out to my landlord. If you are in the Detroit area, I say that you truly should live in Sicilian Apartments. It's on Seward, right off the corner. But anyway, they're an amazing landlord. His name is Mr. Alex. And so he showed up and I said, "Mr. Alex, do you know how to put these things on?" And he's like, yeah. So he went to go straight on the first one. He got the first one on. Wonderful. Bam. We go to the second one. He like, something wrong with this one. I'm going to try to take it in the house. So we outside. By that time, he had spent probably like 20 minutes outside. And he was like, "Okay, well, I'm just going to go inside and see if I can get it untangled." So he went inside. I said I was going to go inside a little bit. So he came back outside. I was peeking out the window and I saw him outside again. So I ran back outside and he was like, "I think they're broken." And so this man goes to his truck and literally pulled out 2 brand new ones, right? I'm like, "So you just got these laying around in your truck?" He like, "Yeah, they're everywhere in my truck," right? So for the 3 I broke, he gave me 3 brand new ones. That's just how God works. So he literally strapped my clothes down to the top of the hood, right? And then he put one across the center part so it was 3 across this way, right? And then there was 1 straight down the middle because he was like, "I wanted it to be secure and everything like that." So that got all done, right? But the only thing that wasn't in the car was the Buttermade and the Buttermade potato chips, right? And the food that I wanted to bring down here. And so we had to ship that. Mail. Postal Service, right? Not UPS, the USPS, okay, the United States Postal Service, right? So Deani and Sandra go down there. I went to my mom's house because I wanted to say goodbye to her, say I'll see you later, and I love you so, so, so much. And I did my best not to cry, y'all, but I cried so much because I love my mama. She's the bomb. But anyway, after I left her, I went to the Postal Service that I thought I thought they said the UPS store. So I literally went to the UPS store. They weren't at the UPS store. So I called them. I said, where y'all at? They said the post office. I said, oh, okay. Well, which one are y'all at? So then I went to the postal service. And so when I got there, they had already had the box together and everything. And they were just waiting on the lady to, for somebody to come and actually pick the box up because it was too heavy for the lady to actually pick up. And I understand that. So Sandra went home and Deani and I stayed. So needless to say, I was supposed to leave at 6 o'clock. That was my plan, 6 a.m. By this time, it was like 4 p.m. 4 p.m., y'all. Okay, so anyway, still for the day. So then we leave. The man, we ship it off and everything like that. God bless my sister, Deani. That love bug paid for it because she's just amazing. If you happen to have amazing sisters like I do, I need y'all to love them and encourage them and just don't not tell them. Don't be that person that just don't tell somebody or give them their flowers while they're here. Let them know just how beautiful they are and how amazing they are to even help you, and they don't have to do that. But anyway, I just want to shout her out because I love her. I want to shout out my sister Sandra too, and I want to shout out Miss Anita too, and Charlotte, because those are the ladies that helped me out and kept me from crying, including my mom and my brother. So Kevin and Ma, yeah, I love you guys. Anyway, so back to the story. It's about 4 o'clock. So then we leave there. We had to go to the restroom. So we went to Sandra's house, my sister's. And we used the restroom because you should just use the restroom before you get on the road, right? So you can drive a little bit. Anyway, so we're driving. We finally get on the road. It's 5 p.m. Okay? 5 p.m. And we haven't even eaten yet. That's how much we was moving. No, I hadn't eaten yet. I believe Deani did. But anyway, we got on the road. Baby girl, my little sister, she took off driving. She drove first. God bless her. So we were driving and we literally entered into Toledo, y'all. Soon as we got in Toledo, we drove for an hour. Because that's all it takes from where I live to Toledo, Ohio. 1 hour. Soon as we crossed over into Ohio, we drove for probably about another 20 minutes, and then we heard a pop. So we heard the pop, and I'm like, oh man, what happened? And so I had leaned, but before we heard the pop, I had stuck the pillow. I had brought a pillow. I had stuck the pillow like under my neck because I was about to go to sleep. And I had leaned all the way on the door. And then after I leaned on the door, I heard a pop. And I feel like it was me that caused the pop. But anyway, we heard a pop. So we pull up. We come up off the freeway. And when we came up off the freeway, the clothes was laying flat on the top of the hood, right? Just completely flat. When we got to the gas station, the flat part, the front part had rolled back on the back part. So it looked literally like a U. Or a C, a backward C. That's what it looked like. So we pull it back down, do our best to strap it back down, tuck everything back in and pull it a little tight and everything like that. And we like, okay, it's good. We get back on the road, y'all. Okay? Get back on the road. 5 minutes later, a bag falls out. No joke. Bag falls out. It falls out into the highway, right? Right in the freeway. And so if I had it on camera, I wish I had it on camera because I was looking at the bag in the middle of the road. Me and Deani just staring at it getting run over, right? So it's just getting ran over. Boom, boom, boom. And to the point where everything was flying out the bag, right? So it was my shoe racks that I had bought. And they're kind of like this fabric or whatever. And, they had like 12 different little holes where you can just stuff your shoes in or whatever. So that's the one that fell out. So I get out the car, right? We laughing because we looking out the window like this. And then we just bust out laughing. Like it got ran over so much that we couldn't even see it no more. The cars had drug it somewhere. Anyway, strap it back down, right? Try to stuff it back in like we did at the gas station. Got back on the road. Y'all, Not even 2 minutes later, another bag falls out, but it don't fall in the freeway. It don't fall on the highway. It falls on the shoulder. Now, I shouldn't be saying this because the first time we bagged up to see if we can see what the bag was when the first bag fell out. So when the second bag fell out and it fell on the shoulder, we bagged up again, like to go get the bag, right? So it was a bag of shoes. And God, I believe it was just Jesus, like, okay, we ain't gonna let her lose her shoes, but the shoe rack, we can lose the shoe rack because we can buy it at the shoe rack, right? Even though we can buy more shoes, but picked up the shoes, right? And from that point on, it was just decided, like, hey, we got to ship these clothes. They can't be on top of the car, because if things have fell out within a span of 2 minutes from each other, then it can get worse. Like the rest of it can just fall off and all my clothes would be out in the middle of the road, right? So we come up, was looking for a FedEx, didn't find a FedEx, found a UPS store, right? So get in a UPS store, ask the lady, like, hey, what are your box sizes? And could we bring in some clothes and just separate some things, blah, blah, blah. They totally gave us, free license to do whatever. So needless to say, it was a big mess. Like the tarp was huge and I had a lot of clothes, y'all. I was literally trying to bring my whole closet. But anyway, so we snatched it off the top of the hood, off the roof of the car, and was dragging it down the side of the street. This was super hilarious. I wish I could have caught this on tape, right? Or somebody caught it on tape. But we was dragging it past this store, and these people were looking like they were playing cards or something like that. They looked out the window at us like we was crazy. But anyway, we get into the UPS store. The lady gave us a box. She said the biggest box they had was like a 20 by 20 or 24 by 24 or something like that. And then she was like, oh no, well, you know what? We can give you 2 boxes, 2 boxes that are 20 by 20. For the same price as a 24 box, the box that is 24 by 24 or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So at that point, I had to downsize my clothes, y'all. Had to do it. So when I tell you, we start ripping through these bags, and Yanni was like, I'll hold them up. You tell me what you want. You tell me what you want. And so it was literally like, no, yes, yes, no, yes, yes, no, 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 yes, 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 no, no, yes, yes, no, no, no. It was literally like that. And when I tell you, from the time that we walked into that store until the time we left, it was like a half an hour. It took 30 minutes. And everything that I said yes to fit in those 2 boxes all the way up to the top. I don't know how good God is very good, because I could have went over, I could have said too many yeses and it probably wouldn't have fit and all that, and just whatever. It could have been crazy. So needless to say, we took all those clothes, and then I wanted to donate the clothes. But let me rewind a little bit. Like, Dan and Crystal called when the first bag came out. No, the second bag came out. No. Yeah, when the second bag came out, and we let them know, like, hey, they like, hey, where you guys at? We on the road. And I was like, yeah, we on the road, blah, blah, blah. But, I feel like I'm going to have to get rid of all of my clothes because the shop is done and, blah, blah, blah. Right? So he like, look, Dan is so funny. He going to say, man, well, I ain't got no clothes. I got some jogging pants. I'm like, shoot, I'm just going to donate all my clothes. So Crystal in the back laughing. And I'm just like, it looks like I'm going to be wearing wedges and men jogging shorts. And they just bust out laughing. And so that was before we got to the UPS store. But anyway, fast forwarding back, 30 minutes it took. We paid for it, got back, packed up all the clothes that I wanted to donate, GPS where we could drop the clothes off and donate the clothes and stuff like that. Donated the clothes. Then we had to get rid of the tarp. So then where we took the clothes at, around the corner, there was a big old trash can. So we threw the tarp. I threw the tarp away. The tarp only cost $10. Thank God for that. The straps only cost, I think they cost like $10 too, or $15 too. So it wasn't a big waste or anything like that. But I just thank God that my clothes got shipped. So then after that, it was round about, after doing all of that, it was around about like nine maybe, something like that. And so then we went, no, maybe seven, something like that. Something like that. Like they closed at 7. So yeah, it was like 7:30 by the time we finished that. And then after that, we like, dude, we hungry. So then we went and got something to eat. And we sat there for a minute. So needless to say, first day, we did not make it no further than Toledo, Ohio. Okay. Second day, we went to bed. I sprayed down everything. I almost choked out Deani because I just don't trust them beds in any hotel or anything like that. So I kind of choked my girl out. But when we laid down in that bed, dude, we were gone. It was over. The next morning, we got up. I drank a nice cup of coffee, which had like about 20 sugars in it, y'all. And then the breakfast was nice. So then after that, I started driving. Got on the road. We stopped probably like 3 hours later. And then I got another coffee, and I already had a Red Bull in the car. So I drank the Red Bull, y'all, after a coffee with 20 sugars in it. Now, I'm done on sugar. Like, I don't need liquor. Sugar will do me in. I will be done, okay? And then with my happy self, I still didn't eat except for what I had for breakfast. Like, I didn't get anything after that. So needless to say, after I drank the second coffee, so I drank the first coffee that morning, then I drank the Red Bull, and then I drank the second coffee, no more than probably about like an hour and a half later after drinking the Red Bull, y'all. So when I tell you I was wired, Deani done went to sleep. I'm trying to talk to her because that's how I drive. Like, I need somebody to talk to keep my mind from being super nervous, because I hate road trips. I hate them. I won't say I hate them. I really dislike them. I just have to prepare myself for how long it's going to be, because I don't like being in places for a long. I just don't. Anyway, so needless to say, I drove for probably about a good 6 or 7 hours, I think. And so it was just like coursing through it wasn't coursing that bad, but I knew I was wired, right? So then after probably like the 6th or 7th hour, something like that, we pulled over. I used the bathroom. Deani started driving, right? So now we're up in the mountains. And we had went through St. Louis and everything. I had drove through St. Louis. And then we had entered, I think it was Missouri. And Missouri had mountains, y'all. And I can't stand mountains. And then I can't stand mountains. And then I was high on sugar and caffeine. So it was like my anxiety went from here all the way like here. I was just like, I was almost in Deani's seat. I was so like so anxious. She like, Tony, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. But I wasn't okay, y'all. And she could tell. But when I tell you my girl just drives, okay, I was like trying not to do the speed limit because I was just super, super anxious and nervous. It was too much. But Deani was pushing it, okay? So if y'all need somebody that can just push you through, call her, okay? If you know her, call her. Anyway, so she pushing through Missouri. We enter into Oklahoma and she's still floating, right? And I'm getting so like now at this point it's probably about like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So this is the first time we had a full day of driving. So it was probably about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I mean now at this point the caffeine is coursing through my veins. I still haven't eaten since that morning. It's coursing through my veins. I could feel it. And it felt like I was drunk, but I wasn't drunk. But I had like this little haze, this little dizzy haze over over me or whatever. And I was just in my feels, man. I was just all up in my feels. And so she would just kept looking over, and so she started playing worship music, and it was getting my mind off of how I was feeling and the size of the robes and stuff like that. And so I still was feeling super, super anxious, and I just wanted to stop. Like, I just wanted to stop. I just didn't want to go no more, but I didn't say anything. But Deani, I don't know, God just told her. Anyway, he had to tell her, because she was like, I think you need to get something to eat. And I was like, yeah. So then I went to Subway and got in the Subway, and the lady made me the sandwich she usually eats. So this is what was on the sandwich, y'all. It was a flatbread. It was a wheat flatbread. It had rotisserie chicken on it. It had pepperoni, and it had bacon. And then I put, I can't have cheese, so I couldn't have the cheese, so I didn't put cheese. So then I put some spinach, bell peppers, onions, pickles, and some guacamole on it, and a little bit of mayo. So when I left there and got in the car, I started biting into this sandwich, and it just, how, man, it just made me feel so much better. It was just like, dude, this is what you needed. You've been letting this caffeine just course through your body. It had nowhere to go. Nothing could soak it up or whatever. So it was kind of like, when you get drunk, you need to drink. Y'all know what I'm talking about, whoever you are. But anyway, so back to the story. So then I was like, Deani, do you want the other half? And she was like, no, you need to eat it. I was like, ooh, you gonna be sad. You gonna be so sad. She was like, I'm gonna be sad. I was like, girl, you gonna be sad. And so she was like, I think we should just stay here. And that just made me feel so much better. I still didn't tell her. So we found a hotel that was like right around the corner from the Subway. And when she started eating the sandwich, y'all, she was like, ooh, this is good. And she couldn't stop. And I was like, I told you was going to be happy. And so she just bust out laughing. So I still had this little haze over me, y'all, right? Still had this little haze over me. We get to the hotel, right? So we get in, and it was to the point where we got the hotel room and everything like that. And when we came out to get our bag out the car, I tripped over the little mat that was outside and almost fell on my face. So anyway, needless to say, the food hadn't sucked up the caffeine. So that was the only thing I ate then too. So I went from 7 a.m. in the morning all the way to 9, and that's all I ate. So what I ate for breakfast was like some sausages and maybe like 2 biscuits or something. So I hadn't had a real meal. But anyway, we got in there. I sprayed it all down. She was like, Tony, don't choke me this time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do my best. So got in the bed and just fell out. Just fell out again. Showered and fell out. And then got up the next morning. And we were literally 4 hours. Because at that point, we were in Oklahoma. We were 4 hours from Texas. So God just spoke to me and told, just let her drive you on in. Like, just let her drive you on in. Don't even worry about, some parts of me wanted to drive myself into Texas or into my new journey. But that's okay. It was like, just let her drive you on in there. And so we got gas. And she rode them 4 hours like it was nothing. And we entered Texas at around about, that was probably like 7, 8 a.m. So 8, 9, 10, 11, like 11 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock. And we got to our destination, and that was the journey, y'all. It took 3 days, and all of that happened in 3 days. It has been more, but I won't get into it because I already went up to 33 minutes, and I don't want to talk any further. And I know I can get very lengthy. I can talk a lot. Anyway, so if you like this video, just share, comment, subscribe. I truly appreciate it. I like comments more than anything. And like I said, I didn't want anything. I just love you guys to life. Have a good day. It's night for me right now. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.